runner was upside down. Got me going in circles, looking at. Almost done. Last deck. Shit. Hello, and welcome back to another celebrity requested reading. It is August 21st, 2026. It is 11:48 a.m. This will be a requested reading for Jungkook, Jimin and Winter. Okay, so basically, we're finna talk about the triangle of truth. Let's get started. As you can see, all of the cards have been pre-shuffled. So we're gonna start off with, what is Jungkook's true feelings towards Jimin and Winter? All right, so let's see what we got at the bottom of the deck. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, we got you came closer than anyone. All right, so here we go. What does Jungkook truly think about Jimin? What does Jungkook truly think about Jimin? 2 cards, please. What do Jungkook truly think about Jimin? What does Jungkook truly think about Winter? Here we go. So, What does John Cook truly think about Jimin? All right. It says, so many things reminds me of you. I replay our conversations over and over. All right. So that's what I got right there for that one. How John Cook truly feels about Jimin. So I don't know. That's just what the cards say. So many things remind me of you, and I replay our conversations over and over. So there's something there, because you're not finna replay conversations over and over about someone if they didn't kind of, sit somewhere special. Okay, so let's see about Winter. What does Jimin, what does John Cook truly think about Winter? Just being near you is intoxicating. Ooh, really? And I feel you even though we are apart. Wow. Okay, so listen. Being near her makes him feel intoxicated. And even when he's not near her and they are apart, he can still feel her on some type of level, okay? All right, here's where it's going to get a little deeper. All right. Does John Cook have romantic or emotional feelings for either of them? So I'm going to pull two cards over here for how John Cook could feel romantically or emotionally. Okay, for Jimin. Jimin's going to go over here. Winter's going to go over here. All right, so here we go. Does he have romantic or emotional feelings for Jimin? Does John Cook have emotional or romantic feelings for Winter? Okay. So here we go for Jimin. Wow, this is mad crazy, y'all. So this is Jimin's side. Does John Cook have romantic or emotional feelings for Jimin? Look what we got. I can't express myself. I can't express myself. These feelings are eating me alive. Ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how those cards came out for that question? I can't express myself. So there's something preventing him from expressing either emotional feelings or romantic feelings, but he can't. And these feelings are eating me alive. He wants to, but he can't. Whether it's emotional or romantic, either or, he can't do it. Wow. That's crazy. So that's just how he feels about Jimin according to these cards, okay? Let's go over here and see about Winter, okay? Does John Cook have romantic or emotional feelings for Winter? I can't make you happy and I can't handle your love. Damn. I can't make you happy. I can't handle your love. Wow, that's funny to me. That's funny to me. The only reasons why it's funny to me, you guys, is because of the cards that came out for Jimin. I can't make you happy, and I can't handle your love. So this is what it comes to. This is what it says romantically or emotionally, how he feels about Winter. Damn, I didn't expect that. Well, I tell you one thing. Shout out to the person who requested this reading. This is, yeah, definitely the triangle of truth. Okay, let's see. This is where it gets interesting right here to me. Let me get a sip of the Monster. Y'all know I got to have a Monster. I'm sipping on the Irish cream today. Can't have coffee, so this is the closest thing. Doctor says no more coffee, but he didn't say no more Monster. There's a way around everything. Anyway, we're gonna use the confession cards, and I'm just gonna ask for one. Does he prefer one over the other? This is the crazy part about it. Does he prefer one over the other? Well, I would say he would prefer Jimin, however, emotionally romantic, whatever, over Winter, simply because it says, I can't handle your love. Okay? I can't make you happy. All right? All right, so here we go. Does he prefer one over the other? Does Jungkook prefer one over the other? Oh, it's at the bottom. You are mine. You are meant. We are meant for each other. There is no one else in this world who could ever replace you. We were made to be together. We are destined, and I am yours, and you are my only. We have done this. We have done this before, and we'll do it again. Well, damn. You see, this is why I pre-shuffle these cards. I'm starting to pre-shuffle them again on camera. That's crazy. Let's see. Does Jungkook prefer one over the other? I'm just gonna ask for one card, and we'll see what it says. When it comes to Jimin and Winter, does he prefer one over the other? This is crazy. So, inspiration. Okay, this is what it says, inspiration. I'm gonna read to you. It says, there is no one else who inspires me the way you do. I am so proud of you, your achievements and your gifts. Your love really gives me strength and courage to strive for more out of life. Now, this is the crazy part. If I was to say, just based off of this one card, I would say it would go to Jimin, only because it says you inspiration. You know what I'm saying? You inspire me. So there is no one else. I would say he prefers definitely Jimin over Winter. I don't know if somebody would see this differently, but if someone was to say, I can't make you happy, I don't really think, that's something, that's the inspiration, on any type of level of someone you can't make happy. So that's why I'm saying I feel like if he prefers one over the other, it would be Jimin. And based off of the cards that came out at first, I can't express myself. These feelings are eating me alive. So that's what I would say, y'all. We gonna keep it moving, because if I got some energy left after this one, I'm gonna try to do Rose and Jay Young. That's the next reading coming up, you guys. The next reading request is gonna be Rose and Jay Young. Okay, if I got energy, I will do it. Hope y'all enjoyed the Jimin readings that I did. The next one, it'll be dropping tonight at 9:30, as all the rest of them did. All right, let's see. Is John Cook confused, immature, or unsure about what he wants? Okay. Is John Cook confused, immature, or unsure about what he wants? These are the masculine archetype cards. So let's see what's at the bottom. The Seeker. Whoo! Now, just based off of the question alone, is he confused, immature, or unsure what he wants? Well, I'm going to read the Seeker to you. I'm going to read the Seeker because, like I said, they were pre-shuffled. And for this to be at the bottom of the deck is very interesting to me. For this card to be at the bottom of the deck, I just got to find a motherfucker. Where is it? It's gonna take a minute for me to find it, y'all. Here we go. Wait, no, it's not. That's the speaker, not the seeker. See, that's what I be saying. These words, they be looking weird to me sometimes. They don't be looking like they supposed to look. Here we go. 41. 41 could be significant to either John Cook, Winter, or Jimin. So 41. Let's see what 41 has to say. The Seeker. The Seeker talks about a spiritual dreamer, introspective. It talks about self-involved. These are the challenges of a seeker. Self-involved, closed mind, delusion, okay? Let's see what it reads about. I'm going to turn these over and just take the Seeker. So it says, the Seeker has a profoundly spirit nature. He yearns to connect to something bigger than himself. He explores, meditates, rituals, religion, and metaphysicals to relate to the divine feeling of oneness. When he pursues some might call God, spirit, higher self, or enlightenment, the seeker wants to discover his true spiritual nature. He looks towards teachers, gurus, spiritual leaders, sacred traditions, and his own intuition for guidance. The seeker doesn't only study the work of the wise, he also seeks to have the same mystical experiences. The seeker needs to be cautious not to become lost in delusion of the grandeur. If he uses his experience to inflate his ego, telling others he is a guru, he can lose sight of the purpose. This can lead him to abuse his powers or manipulate others for worldly gain. Damn. The danger of the seeker is if his pursuit becomes superficial, he might dab in everything but master nothing, leading to the type of spiritual consuming that never finds the practical real depth. When working with the seeker archetype, explore what truths you see in the world and push the bounds of understanding. When you travel somewhere new, change careers, or contemplate the universe, connect to the seeker. So, what I feel like with this just being at the bottom of the deck and the question at hand, is he confused? Is he immature? Or is he unsure of what he wants? With the seeker being here, he's trying to figure that out. I feel like he's trying to figure out which direction he needs to go. So he could be a little bit confused. He could be, and he could be a little unsure of what he wants. As far as is he immature? I think when it said something about going around telling people you are a guru, you know what I'm saying? Could be a little immature if you're not necessarily a true guru. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about like an ego boost and saying things to, superficial basically. So I wouldn't know if he's immature or not, but I definitely do feel like so far he could be a little confused. And a little unsure about what he wants. So let's keep it moving. Might well keep it. So here we go. Is John Cook confused, immature, or unsure of what he wants? One card, please. This is interesting. This is interesting. The reason why I say this is interesting because he is considered a artist, but not like a painting artist. As far as I know, I don't think he paints, but just the fact that he does music, I think this is interesting that this card would come out. So let's see. Did they do this in alphabetical order? Oh, okay. So this artist falls under the category of the lover. The lover, okay? So let's see. Damn, that's interesting that that card would come out. Is he confused or immature or unsure about it, what he wants? And then to fall under the category of the lover. See? And the lover category is adventure, artist, romantic, and comedian. Okay, so he could be a funny guy, you know. I'm just not for sure. Which could probably come on the side when we talked about the secret and being immature, you know. But let's just go to where the artist is. It's artiste 56 and see what that has to say. Okay. So it says an open-minded person, a creative person, self-critical person, and observant. The challenges is sometimes this person can be irresponsible, aloof, or obsessive. Okay. To cultivate, it talks about writing down your dreams, free writing, and drawing. Let's talk about the artist. The artist harnesses his emotions and expressions to create new work of beauty. He finds inspiration. He finds inspiration. Remember, we had got inspiration out earlier in the confession cards for Jimin just a minute ago. He finds inspiration. Motherfucker. Hold on a second. Hey, my nigga, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of doing a reading. Is it important? All right. Yeah. Hello. Okay. I was gonna say hello. So silly. Okay. So here we go. Where the fuck was I at? Okay, yeah. The artist harnesses his emotions and expressions to create new work of beauty. He finds inspiration by fully taking in complex emotions of the world around him, where through time and skills translate his experiences into something he can enjoy. So listen, this is important to me because remember, with the confession cards, we want to know about romantic and we want to know about emotional feelings. Now we're sitting up here talking about emotions of the world around him, even though times and skills translates his experience into something he can enjoy. The artist explores the depth of being. He dives into his shadow, desires, hopes, and griefs. From that made abandon, he toils to shape his thoughts into physical forms that others can comprehend. He has one foot in imaginary and one in the material plane. His greatest pleasure is to see those inner visions realized. The artiste is creating through the body in motion. Playing the guitar is sensual, acts for the whole body. The lines on a painting involves the artist's entire being. The artist's real canvas is his heart and his body, but the art a byproduct. When it balanced, a artist engaged in conventional thoughts, his expression. When the artist is out of balance, he loses himself in image world. He loses himself in his image world, leaving his dismembered body disconnected. When connected with the artist's archetype, ask how you invoke beauty into your life, then examine your passion and expression. So this is the part that's real interesting to me, is that it talks about towards the end when the artist is in balance. Now, I know because of all them damn readings I just did yesterday, and with not yesterday, day before yesterday, with Jimin, is that Jimin is a Libra, and remember that card over here said inspiration, so I could just be saying stuff, but I feel like the inspiration that Jungkook gets for Jimin is when Jimin is balanced out. So when Jimin is balanced out, Libra scales, it allows Jungkook to also be balanced out, and that's where he finds his inspiration, and that's when he can express himself better, according to this artiste card. But since I can't read so well, punk bitch, listen here. You pause it and you read it and you see what you come up with. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So that's what we got for that. Did I show y'all the right one? Yeah, I showed you the right one. So that's what we have when it comes to is he confused or immature or unsure. So with this artiste coming out, he's a lot of things, right? And this is how he would express himself. And like I said, I don't think he draws. I don't know, maybe he do, but I'm more than likely sure he expresses himself more than likely through his music. Okay, through his music, songwriting, if he writes songs for the group or whatever the case may be, something to that extent. Okay, let's keep it moving. What is the deeper motive behind being connected to both of them? Okay, what is the deeper motive being connected to both of them? So we're talking about being connected to Jimin as well as being connected to Winter. So let's see. How the fuck am I gonna do that? Okay. So since we're talking about two people, I'm gonna use two. I'm gonna do it again that way. This is a tarot apocalypse. We know it's been pre-shuffled. Wow. So at the bottom of the deck, you guys, we have the World card. And remember the question at hand: what is the deeper motive behind being connected to both of them? Let's read what the World card has to say. Ooh, look what I did. I went to Walmart yesterday and I got those little things that I said I was gonna get so I could find the pages quicker. But I got the right on them now. I just put the little sticky things on there. But I got the right on. But look how fast I found the world. Look, I did it. All right, let's see what the world has to say. Okay. So it says completion. It talks about conclusion. It talks about higher achievement. It talks about victory. It talks about triumph and attain, reaching the end of a journey. Okay. It talks about learning all that has been learned. It talks about gaining wisdom through experience. It talks about breakthrough to a new stage of journey. Okay. It talks about your inheritance and your birthrights. Ow, that hurt. A place in the universe. Okay. It talks about sacred and divine in the self. Okay. Fuck, that hurted my kneecap. All right. Like a shooting pain out of this world. Don't do that. Okay, so yeah, that's at the bottom of the deck, which is the World card. So let's see what that has to do with anything if it comes back out in this reading. So the first side is going to be for Jimin. What is the deeper motive behind Jungkook being connected to Jimin? What is the deeper motive behind Jungkook being connected to Jimin? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. That's Jimin. What is the deeper motive behind Jungkook being connected to Winter? And I'm going to start with Winter first, you guys. Just letting you know right now, we starting with Winter. Okay? Okay. So here, let's see what it says. What is the deeper motive behind Jungkook being connected to Winter? Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. Because this is crazy. Before I read what it got to say, I'm going to tell you what we have. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is good, okay? Whenever I look at this Eight of Pentacles, I look at someone who is basically mastering something, good at learning, continued learning, something to that extent. But I have this Five of Swords right here, right? And when I see this Five of Swords right here, it makes me feel like when it comes to what is the deeper motive behind being connected to Winter, it's almost like to learn something from her. But with the Five of Swords being here and the Prince of Cups, it's not necessarily, it doesn't seem like it's too good. So it almost seems like something he's trying to learn from. You know what, let's just go to it. Let's just read it. I want to read the Five of Swords, y'all. I got to read the Five of Swords. I got to see what that's talking about. It's going to be the blue here. No, it's not going to be the blue. But may as well go to the blue. Okay, here we go. Let's see what that Five of Swords got to say. Here we go. Five of Swords. It says, intellectual contest, insults, threats, and verbal attack, meaningless done to others as a performance or entertaining, gaining advantage over an opponent, putting somebody at a disadvantage, destructive words, boasting, insulting, a challenge, egos, fighting, feelings of self-importance. So damn. It's almost like with this Eight of Pentacles, it's almost like using the knowledge that she has against her on some type of way for this Prince of Cups. Okay? So it's so fucking crazy because I don't really know them like that, but this is how I would, like a normal person like me, this is how I would see this. You basically, say for instance, if I had a male friend, right? And say as a woman, you know I'm gonna put my hair this way or put on this type of perfume or rock these type of pants or shoes or dress, whatever the case may be, because I know doing that will win over such and such, because I know this is what such and such likes about me. So it almost feels like when it comes to, and I know this sounds crazy, y'all, though, but it almost feels like when it comes to what is the deeper motive behind being connected to Winter, it almost feels like to learn her walk, her talk, her dress, her whatever, you know what I'm saying, and to use it against her with this Five of Swords in order to get this Prince of Cups. Let's see what this Prince of Cups is. Who this Prince of Cups is. I put these goddamn sticker things on here and let's see. Well, I'm kind of getting to it faster. See, look, it says romantic, idealist, lover, seeking a romantic partner or emotional connection, yearning, love, ideal partner, moving on from social and romantic involvements. Okay, it talks about rivalries in love, putting love or a person on a pedestal, and flirtation. See what I just said? The last word on here is flirtation. What did I just say a minute ago? I said I know if I wear my hair this way, or this outfit, or this perfume, I know this will get such and such because I know what they like. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how I feel. How his motive, the deeper motive is. I watch what she do, you know what I'm saying, and I can get what she get with this Five of Swords, used with the Eight of Pentacles, what I know, my information, the skills against her to get what I want, which is this Prince of Cups. And this Prince of Cups is a romantic partner, you know what I'm saying? Not only a romantic partner, an ideal partner. That's what it says. It talks about rivalries in love. That's what it says. Like, no bullshit. And this is why I wanted to read her cards first. Yep. Hell no. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Mm-mm. Whew. Well, just for kicks, let's read what the Eight of Pentacles have to say. Get your kicks on Route 66, okay? So this is what it says. It says apprenticeship, undertaking a period of learning from somebody else's experience. That's the first line on here. Apprenticeship, undertaking a period of learning for someone else's experience in wisdom, studying a craft or a skill. Practice makes perfect. Applying what one has learned. Hard work and dedication is required. I just told you. That's what it is. That's what it is. Say, for instance, I don't even know if they ever messed around or nothing like that. But if they did, it was only so he could get closer to this Prince of Cups. On that thing. This is so much like drama, like soap opera. Shout out to the person who requested this reading person. Hey, girl, hey. For real. This is real life fucking soap opera, dude. All right. Now, since we know what the deeper motive was behind being connected to Winter, let's just move these up here and let's see what is the deeper motive behind being connected to Jimin. I want to start here. I want to start with this card. Don't ask me why. I just do. All right? All right. Yeah. So, let's go to it. The card that I got right here is the Ten of Wands. Okay? It's the Ten of Wands. And let's see what that Ten of Wands have to say. All right. And this is what it has to say. It talks about burdens. It talks about duties. It talks about responsibility. The final push towards completion. It talks about one's great work, a long desired ambition, almost obtained, hard work and effort that needs to apply oneself and devoted oneself to a task. A great challenge. A great challenge. Now listen, I did these cards this way because right here with this Prince of Cups, the challenge at hand, you know, was very hard. And that's why I think this is where Winter comes in to make things easy. Look what it says. Burdens, duties, responsibilities, the final push towards completion. Remember when we first started the reading with these cards, what was at the bottom of the deck? The World card. Isn't the World card about completion? Yes, it is, okay? So, a long desired ambition almost obtained. I think the long desire, ambition that's almost obtained is Jimin. I mean, that's who we're talking about, right? Let's see what the next thing got to say. And remember, it said a great challenge. Okay, when things are a great challenge, you need to figure out how to get over this challenge or this obstacle. And I feel like what assisted him and helped him more than likely was being in connection with Winter. Let's see what this one has to say. See what I'm saying? This is why I read the cards the way that I do. Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. The Ace of Cups. What is the Ace of Cups all about, you guys? The Ace of Cups is all about love, baby. We got that Prince of Cups, you see? See that Prince of Cups up here? You see that Ace of Cups right here? Yeah, see. And the Ace of Cups talks about pure, meow, pure love, bliss, ecstasy, happiness, joy, emotions, okay? In unadulterated form, divine madness, spiritual experience, mystical. Didn't we read something earlier that talked about mystical? I think it was when we had that archetype card up here. Mystical. I believe that's what it was when we were talking about the seeker, right? Here we go. A mystical experience connecting to the divine or the source of communion with God, revelation, intention, revelations of the sacred beauty, art, manifesting of the imaginal world, expression of one's inner world. We talked about something earlier with them cards. The feelings, wanting to express his feelings inside, and because it was eating him up. But we had also talked about the imaginary world or something too earlier, but I can't remember. I can't remember what the fuck I had said. But anyway, it says expression of one's inner world, depth, the subconscious and the unconscious. Okay. So traditionally, the Eight of Cups we know is all about love. And what is the deeper motive behind being connected to Jimin? The Ace of Cups. Even if you're new to tarot, you know the Ace of Cups is all about new beginnings and love. Right? What is this one? Seven of Pentacles. Yep. See how I lined these cards up the way that I did? We got the Eight of Pentacles right here. We got the Seven of Pentacles right here. The Seven of Pentacles is always like long-term investing into something. And that's why with this Ten of Wands, it's almost coming to a completion. It has been a lot. It has been a burden, but it's almost done and over with. That long time investment with this Seven of Pentacles is finally coming towards that love. Okay? That Seven of Pentacles. Yep. He had been investing in this for a long time. So it's like, damn, I need some help up here with Winter. You know, I need some help up here with Winter. Now, with this Five of Swords, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing what it is that I need to do in order to get this Prince of Cups so I can have this Ace of Cups. Yes, it is a burden. Yes, it is a struggle, but it's almost done. And it's been a long time coming with this Seven of Pentacles. Damn! This is, if this is true, bro, sis, if this is true, this is straight soap opera. And then at the bottom of the deck, we got the Prince of Wands. So we got a Prince of Wands up here with passion. And then we got this Prince of Cups up here. This two dudes. Where is the female in here? Where's the female energy? See what I'm saying? That is what it is. I don't know what you want me to do with it. Hey, shout out to the person who requested this. reading. Oh, wow, for real. Shit, I owe you one, because this is crazy. Let's just keep it moving, though. Let me get a little sip of this Irish cream monster. Y'all should try this. It's like cold coffee, okay? Mmm. Let's see here. Let's see. Um, what card should I use? Does Jungkook feel guilty about being connected to both of them? Does Jungkook feel guilty being connected to both of them? So we're gonna use the what is these cards? These are the horror. Okay, these are the classic horror oracle cards, and they basically cards from old movies. Okay, so let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, I'm so sorry. My fucking kid's still asleep. I'm loud in the motherfucker. This is crazy. See, you saw me pre-shuffle these cards, and this is exactly why I pre-shuffle the cards so y'all can see them. Because this shit is crazy. The question at hand is, does Jungkook feel guilty about being connected to both of them? How come we got Trickster? This is It. Remember that movie It? We got Trickster at the bottom. It's a dirty game out here, but somebody has to do it, okay? Is your refrigerator running? Oh, stupid. Well, you better go get it. That's like my favorite part in that whole movie. Like, I know that's just so weird, but that's the favorite part. And he be laughing. Them damn balloons be popping in them people's face in the library, and they don't even seem to realize it. So yeah, we got Trickster here, okay? As does he feel guilty about being in the connection with both of them? No, it don't seem like he is. With Trickster being at the bottom, but let's just see. Cold as ice. Tricksters are cold as ice. All right, here we go. Does Jungkook feel guilty about being being connected to both of them? Oh, what is this? Look, man, I'm not finna take all these cards. Like, no, I'm not finna do all of that. I said I wanted one card. Why would you do that? Okay, y'all. So, okay, my fucking eye jumping, so I gotta do it. Fuck. I gotta do it. You cannot be disobedient. You gotta do what you gotta do. But we're gonna start with the card that I was originally supposed to get, and then these two want to bear their head. So I'm gonna put them up here, because them was the ones that came out when I was trying to shuffle. This is the original, so let's see what he got to say. Okay, where's the book? What do we got? Damn. Well, ain't that about a bitch? Does Jungkook feel guilty about being connected to both of them? We got the word fate. We got the word fate. So this has to come from some movie. Here we go. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. That's not it. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so this card is actually from a movie called It Follows. And the great thing about it is I'm looking at the word that came out that's at the bottom of the deck. But it says if reversed though, and it says what will be will be. So just seeing that and asking, does Jungkook feel guilty about being connected to both? Even though it's not in the reverse though, but that's what the reverse meaning would be. It will be what it will be. All right, but let's just read it. It says the actions of others can set things in motion towards you, unable to stop, so that you only so your only agency is in how you handle the situation. There is no way to avoid it, no opting out. It's coming for you whether you like it or not. You see this with a disturbing focus, even if those around you cannot. What you can do. Huh? That sounded weird. Actions of others can set things in motion towards you, unstoppable, so that your only agent is in how you handle the situation. There is no way to avoid it, no opting out. It's coming for you whether you like it or not. You see this with a disturbing focus, even if those around you can't. What can you do? What can you do? Now, ain't that funny? Because remember when we had that it card, and I was like, I like that part in the movie where that balloons bust in their face, and they act as if they can't even see it, but that shit looked at bogus in the motherfucker. But it says upright. It says determine your own fate. So I honestly feel like, does he feel guilty about being in connection with both of them? No, I don't feel like he does. Okay. Okay, but this is the fate card. And when things are fated, there's nothing you can really do about it. So maybe that's why he's, doesn't, you know, feel any type of way, feel guilty, because it's fated to be that way. This is how he feels. Okay. And that's what this movie called is follows. Okay. So no matter what, however he feels about this situation, it keeps following him. And remember, that card said it's eating me up. That hidden truth said it's he eating me up. Okay. So now let's talk about these two cards that came out and they wasn't supposed to. And it makes me wonder, are these two cards for Jimin and Winter, or are they still connected to Jungkook? Let's just see. Earth. Interesting. Um, I'm gonna simply because Winter is a Capricorn, I'm simply gonna say this is for her. That's the only reason why. Okay. I have nothing else to go off of. Okay. But let's just say this is Winter. And it's the Earth card. Let's see what Earth has to say. And I know, Jungkook is an Earth sign as well. Here, okay, so it says, here begins the land of the phantom. Oh, staying connected to where you come from can offer feelings of safety and comfort when we wander. A tangible element we can carry with us can be nurturing and bring with a centered sense of self as we strike out into unfamiliar environments. Keeping home close to your heart isolates us from hostility energies, especially when we are subjected to being cast in the light, in a harsh light. Damn. Remember where you come from. Wow, let me read it again, y'all. It says, staying connected to where we come from can offer feelings of safety and comfort when we wander. A tangible element we can carry with us can be nourishing and bring with its centered sense of self as we strike out into unfamiliar environments. Keeping home close to the heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when we are subjected to being cast into a harsh light. So here's my question at hand. Does Winter be cast into some type of harsh light at times? Okay. That's what I want to know. Wow. Remember where you come from. I think this really is for her. I think this really is for her. Now let's see, could this be for Jimin? Ooh, wee! Ooh, y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. How come we got Trickster again? That's pretty much why I want to go in this order. We got Trickster. Let's see what he has to say. Trickster. Here we go. It. Okay. It says, appearance can be deceiving and playfully seeming mischief, especially if codes are harmless, can be fueled by subterranean aims. No one is ever just kidding. Bright distraction blooms can hide a tooth maw, a figure as old as times. The tricksters will use our own thoughts and fears against us if they can. Damn. Now, this is the crazy thing about it. Use our own thoughts and fears against us if they can. Now, the reason why I feel like this could indeed be for Jimin, only because I know in his readings that I did the other day, it was a lot of swords that came out for him, and communication, a lot of swords and thoughts, and he had a lot of fears and things. So I think, yeah, your own thoughts and fears against us if it can. The trickster will use our own thoughts and fears against us if they can. So if Jungkook would be considered the trickster out of this situation, the trickster will use your own thoughts and fears against you if they can. We know that with Jimin, sometimes his mind can play tricks on him. And sometimes if a person knows your weakness, sometimes they can use that against you for the betterment of themselves, a better outcome for themselves, or to, you know what I mean, when someone used something against you for their own good or whatever. And I think they had a lot to do with that 5 swords that came out earlier in those cards up there. Just like I said with Winter, with Jungkook, and how he really, what was the motive or whatever the fuck I said, how he feels about her. Okay, so that's weird. Oops, wrong cards. That is definitely weird to me. At the bottom of the deck, we got dance. Dance, dance, dance. All right. So the next question is, we said, does he feel guilty about being connected to both of them? So the next thing is, does he simply not care? So these are the Modern Witch Tarot cards. Let me get another sip of the Monster. Does Jungkook simply not care about being in connection with both of them? Does he simply just not care? What's at the bottom of the deck? Wow. We got this King of Cups right here. So this King of Cups, we had the Prince of Cups earlier. So this King of Cups is showing up. Oh, followed by the Tower. Does Jungkook simply not care about being in the connection with both of them? Does he simply just not care? I don't think he just doesn't care, but I think, the heart want what's the heart want, even if it may hurt others, Ain't that about a bitch? So He cares about Jimin. He cares about Jimin. Why you say that, Shay? Because we got this Eight of Swords. Didn't I just talk about them Eight of Swords just a second ago? For Jimin. He cares about how Jimin feels. And we know what this Eight of Swords talks about. So does he simply not care? And remember, that's why I was saying, I don't think it's that he simply just doesn't care. But it's like, the question at hand should have been, who do he care for more? Maybe we would have got a better thingy, but let's see what this Eight of Swords say. I already know what it say, but we're going to read it anyway. You're feeling trapped, okay? Blinded, unable to take action because of your swords are stuck in the ground, and they can be difficult to pull out, but those ropes aren't very tight, and with just a little struggle, they can fall right off. Don't surrender to hopelessness and negativity. You might have made some mistakes that have gotten you here, but you have all the skills you need to get yourself out of this situation. So the way I feel is, does he simply not care? He cares. He cares a lot about how Jungkook feels a lot about how Jimin feels and what Jimin goes through. So he knows that. Remember with that card with the trickster, and he's playing on the emotions or whatever it said. He knows that. Okay. And I think he doesn't want him to feel this way, but if he could use this to his advantage, if he could use this Eight of Swords to his advantage, he would. You see what I'm saying? What's at the bottom? Oh, yeah. Bottom of the deck. We got the Eight of Cups. Okay? The Eight of Cups is all about walking away, you know, some type of, let's read what it says. This is at the bottom. Let's read it. Here we go. And the Eight of Cups says, it's tough, but whatever you've been pouring, but it says it's tough, but whatever you've been pouring all your love and emotion into, you need to step away. It's just not working. It's time to say goodbye and move forward. It might be very difficult. You've invested a lot of your inner time and energy into this after all. But wisdom comes from knowing when something is hopeless, learning from it and move on. Learn from it and move on. That's crazy. So now I need to know, what is this Eight of Cups all about? Why is it at the bottom? And what came next? Oh, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, that Knight of Wands is all about moving towards something. Moving towards something that you want. But with this Eight of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, not so good. Not so good. Hold on. Let's see. Let's ask a question here. Oh, fuck. I don't have my cards out. Hold on. I got to slide to the back. Hold on. I forgot to take out my confirmation cards. They're glow in the dark. I can turn the lights off right now. You can see them glow in the dark. Okay. Whoa. All right. So, let's see. When it comes to, does he simply not care? Okay, when it comes to being connected to both Winter and Jimin, why did we get the Eight of Swords to come out? Spirit, please. Wow. When it comes to the question at hand, does he simply not care about being connected to both Jimin and Winter? Why did the Eight of Swords come out, please? Uh-oh, 2 cards tried to come out. Ah, the 8 of Swords came out because remember just a second ago we had that Knight of Wands, and I said that Knight of Wands is about moving forward towards something. No, he doesn't care about being connected to both of them, but he does care about how Jimin feels. And then we get this Ace of Wands clarifying this 8 of Swords, and let's see what this 8 of Swords have to say. Then what the 8 of Swords have to say. It says acceleration. Wait, is that right? No, that's the 8 of Wands. Sorry. I'm like, hold on, that ain't right. It talks about I'm all in the wrong place, y'all. Hold on. Here we go. The Ace of Wands clarifying the 8 of Swords. And it says new excitement, passion, ignited, go for it, burst of energy, motivation, inspiration, creative sparks, sparks of energy, starting a new project, take action, do it, move, an opportunity for growth. So, if this card right here is clarifying, does he care about it? No, he don't. Okay, because he's gonna, with this Ace of Wands, he's gonna go for whatever makes him feel good. But he does care about how Jimin feels mentally, okay, and what he goes through mentally. But if I was a betting person, it almost feels like he plays on that some type of way to his advantage. Okay, that's just what I feel. Then we got this 7 of Wands right here. Yep. Let's see what the 7 of Wands have to say. The 7 of Wands says, under attack, being challenged, standing your ground, defending your position in achievement, standing up for what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? This is what he believes in. This is how he feels, and he will stand up for that. So it don't matter what I say or anybody else say. This feels right to him. This feels right to him. Hold on. Does Jungkook truly care about how Jimin feels? Does Jungkook, when he's mentally stressed out, does Jungkook truly feel, how does Jungkook truly feel about Jimin when Jimin is truly stressed out? Oh, interesting. We got the Wands again, y'all. We got the 2 of Wands, y'all. And let's see what the 2 of Wands have to say. The 2 of Wands says, making a plan, okay? It says, stage of a project or endeavors, fork in a road. Which direction should I take? Deciding whether to stay or to move forward. Are you ready, willing, and able? So when it comes to how he truly feels about what it is that he's going through, he tried to make some type of plans. He tried to figure out which direction he should go in and whether to move forward when it comes to it. He thinks about it. Yep. What's at the bottom? Sun card. Yeah, he does care. He does care how he feels and what he goes through. And he tried to figure out what it is that he can do for him. That's what this means. What can I do for him when he's feeling like this to make him feel like this? So he does care. In a little manipulative way, but he does care. All right, I'm going to put those cards up. Oh, can't put them up straight because you put them in there the wrong way. Yeah, these are going to be the new confirmation cards moving forward. When sometimes shit be confusing in my head. All right. Is he filing or avoiding just having fun? Oh, is he is he filling a void or just having fun? Sorry. Mm-hmm. So this is real good. So now we getting real messy again. What's at the bottom of the deck? Energy. Number 36. Here we go. Is he filling a void or just having fun? Is Jungkook filling a void or just having fun? Which one is it? All right. Achievement. Hmm. Interesting. That this enlightenment card would be in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. This is crazy. Is he feeling a void or just having fun? When I look at this card right here for the question at hand, achievement, it's almost like I'm not going to say he's feeling a void, and I'm not going to say he's just having fun. What I'm going to say is that it almost feels like conquering something, with achievement being right here. Trying to conquer something. So I'm not getting a void, or the void could be I need to achieve this, you know what I'm saying? That could be, it could be a void in that way, but I think it's trying to achieve something. Trying to achieve something. Hold on. Let me put this in the right way. There we go. Number 9 could be significant. Can I get clarification, please, for is he filling a void or is he just having fun? Why did we get achievement to come out for Jungkook? Why did we get achievement, please? When it comes to is he filling a void or just having fun, why would achievement come out? Ooh, we Lati we likes to party. Listen, I said he trying to conquer something, y'all, and guess what comes out? The Lovers. The Lovers. Achievement. That's why with this Lovers is clarifying the crystals and achievement. He's trying to achieve something. What is he trying to achieve? You ain't heard it from me. You didn't hear it from me. Okay? The Lovers, baby. The bottom of the deck. We got the Empress. All right. Let's keep it moving because we're already over an hour. Okay. What else? My God, isn't this so messy? Okay, so is he afraid of losing Jimin or Winter? Okay, let me get a little water, y'all. Can't keep sipping on this monster like that. Let me get a little water. Okay. Is he afraid of losing Jimin or Winter? So we're going to do it again like this. Let's at the bottom. Oh, we don't matter. It's the Queen of Pentacles. So 2 cards, y'all. One gonna be for Jimin and one gonna be for Winter. The first card gonna be for Jimin. Is he afraid of losing Jimin? Is Jungkook afraid of losing Jimin? Is Jungkook afraid of losing Winter? It's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, y'all ain't gonna believe what's at the bottom of the deck. How the hell Jimin gonna show up? Okay? It don't matter what this card say, it don't matter what this card say. At the bottom of the deck, at the end of the day, Jimin energy with this Libra being right here, it what matters the most. Wow, ain't that about a bitch? So let's see about Winter. Did I put Winter right here? I think I did. Wow. Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. Jesus Christ. I know y'all can see it. That one ain't even saying nothing out loud, Lord have mercy. So we have the Three of Swords right here. And this is what the Three of Swords have to say. It says, you're in for a stab of betrayal and heartbreak. Someone close to you has hurt you deeply, betrayed your trust, or has been deeply inconsiderate to you. You don't have to toughen up. It's okay to feel pretty shitty about the situation. It hurts. If you haven't experienced this pain, do a little soul searching and make sure you're not treating anyone else poorly. Wow. Is he afraid of losing Winter? And the Three of Swords came out. It's okay to feel pretty shitty about the situation. So, he knows, if he was to lose Winter, he would feel kind of bad about it. He would be hurt behind it. You know what I'm saying? If he was to lose Winter. What about Jimin? Wow. We got that Knight of Swords. Let's see what the Knight of Swords have to say. Okay. And the Knight of Swords says, the sword hung high above your head and that's the 9. I'm looking up the 9 of Swords, y'all, and not the Knight of Swords. My bad. Here we go. Bursting onto the scene with fever and confidence, the knight rushes headlong at their obstacle without a second thought. They are passionate and fully self-assured in their intelligence and their opinion, but they're solely lacking compassion in heart. If the night is you, it's time to second guess yourself. You are probably a bit cold and overconfident and passionately afraid of showing someone vulnerability. If left, you're imbalanced and ill prepared for what is lied ahead. Wow, here's the thing. On one hand, when it comes to is he afraid of losing Jimin, with this Knight of Swords coming out, he isn't afraid of losing Jimin because he doesn't feel as if he could lose Jimin. He doesn't. He feels like with this Knight of Swords, it says overly overly confidence, ego, busting on the scenes. He doesn't have a fear of losing him because he feels as if he'll never lose him. Okay? That's what it says. It says, if the night is you, it's time to second guess yourself. You are probably a bit cold and overconfident and possibly afraid of showing some vulnerability. If a person is afraid to show some vulnerability, that's them acting rough and tough with their afro puffs. Straight up, right? He doesn't feel like him losing is even a conversation to be had because this would never happen in his head. Wow. Rushing head on into obstacles without a second thought. There's passion and fully self-assured, but lacking compassion in heart. Okay? He's self-assured that I'm not going to lose Jimin, so it's nothing to worry about. I could lose Winter, you know what I'm saying, and I would feel pretty shitty about it, but I know I ain't going to lose Jimin. Okay? I know I ain't going to lose Jimin. And then look who shows up at the top. Justice scales, Libra. That's Jimin's energy right there. Ain't that about a bitch? Wow. Wow. Oh, shout out to the person who said they don't mind me cussing. Because somebody was like, I cuss too much. And then somebody left a comment. They was like, I don't mind you cussing. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Because I be trying not to cuss, but it just be coming out, you know? Like on everything. I don't be trying to, but it just happens. All right, here we go. Is Jimin aware of Jungkook's connection to Winter? Whoa. Let's see. What cards do I want to use for extra guides? Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. What's at the bottom? Clearing. With clearing being right here, I feel like he may be, like, ain't nothing, not being seen, but let's see. Is Jimin aware of Jungkook's connection to Winter? Is he aware? When I see this card right here, it makes me seem like the only reason why I'm going to say no is because with goals coming out, when I think about goals, I think about in this situation, I'm kind of focusing on what it is that I'm trying to do. So I'm not really aware of what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in that situation, because I'm too focused on my own goals at hand. So I would say no, Jimin isn't aware of Jungkook's connection to Winter, because Jimin's focusing on his own goals. What y'all think? Let's see. Which card should we use now? Does Jimin feel deceived, or does he knowingly continue? Okay, 2 cards, please. What's at the bottom? Be lighthearted, finding out things, coming to light, adapt, change, and heal is at the bottom of this deck. What the fuck? Huh? This just fell out here. It says, love call, someone express love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Well, damn, that just fell out like that. What the fuck? Stop doing shit that I wasn't prepared for. Okay, here we go. Does Jimin feel deceived, or does he knowingly continues? Does Jimin feel deceived when it comes to is he aware or not? And does he knowingly continue? So we're going to get two cards and see what they got to say. This is interesting. We got photos and we got not enough. And it says, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories, followed by not enough, frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego, issues, and jealousy. Here's the crazy thing. I don't think Jimin is aware about, the Winter connection. But what I do feel like is that Jimin feels like there is someone else, you know what I'm saying? There is someone else with not enough being right here. Okay? 13131 could be significant, or just the number 31, but that's what's on the clock, the timer clock. So I hope y'all following me and understanding me, okay? All right, so let's see. Does Jimin have genuine feelings for Jungkook? Woo! Here we go with that messy shit. What's at the bottom of the deck? Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom of this deck. All right, let's see. Does Jimin have genuine feelings for Jungkook? Does Jimin have genuine feelings for Jungkook? Say that 10 times, goddammit. Ooh. Woo-wee. Well, all I'm going to say is we have the King of Pentacles, right? And the King of Pentacles is an earth sign. Now, this Taurus energy, it is Taurus energy, you feel me? But it's still an earth sign. And Jungkook, boom, is a Virgo. So I just feel like this is not his energy, but Jimin is kind of trying to tell us, hey, this is how I see him. Okay, so King of Pentacles, and let's see what this one is. When it comes to does he have genuine feelings for him, and we have the Page of Cups, y'all. The Page of Cups is about what? Love. It's about our emotions. It's water. So it says idealism, dreamer, sensitivity, innocence, inner child, okay, curiosity and possibilities, and head in the clouds. So yes, he most definitely has, I'm not going to say genuine feelings, but there's definitely some feelings there for him, for sure. There's definitely some curiosity there. There's definitely some type of possibilities there, okay? There's some sensitivity here. Idealism is like a dreamer. He feels some type of way about this King of Pentacles. He feels some type of way about this King of Pentacles. Let's be clear, all right? Great thing about it is he feels some type of way about this King of Pentacles, but we got that Eight of Cups coming out again. Remember, we had that Eight of Cups over there. It's almost like, yeah, I feel for him, but at the bottom of the day, at the end of the deck, I can't. I have to walk away from how I feel for some reason. Moving on, walking away from the unknown, letting go, leaving. Yeah, it's Eight of Cups. He curious about it. He curious about his feelings and how he feel about him, but he know at the end of the day, even though he look at him as a king of pentacles, this is something he would have to walk away from. Damn. Damn. See, I want to know, because I don't know. Is it like, you know, is it, well, I don't really know, but because, you know, their culture is a little different. But is it like they can't be in the same sex like relationship? Is that something that goes against their culture or their religion or something like that? I know a lot of humans look down on that anyway, which I've never understood that. I just feel like love is love, you know. You can't help who you love, you feel me? So is that something that their culture frown upon, which is why it will always be a curiosity. It will always be his in the cloud about this because he can't act on it because of his culture. Is that what it is? If the cards are, you know, I don't know. I just feel like just love who you want to love and just leave people alone for loving who they want to love. You feel me? Like, I don't know. Maybe in another century, you guys. I don't know. But let's just keep it moving. Does Jimin think Jungkook is immature or confused? Does Jimin think Jungkook is immature or confused? One card, please. I don't think so. Whatever Jungkook is, Jimin accepts him for who he is and what he is. Why do you say that, Shay? Because we got the lovers. So whatever he is, the good and bad, with the lovers coming out, you know, that's, you know, and we got balance right here. So I don't think he feels he's immature or confused. Not with the lovers coming out. So even if he was immature or even if he was confused, he still got love for him with the lovers being here. Is that what it say? It's the lovers. Jesus. Wait, that's the wrong way. Damn, look. At the bottom of the deck, look, y'all. We got the Ace of Wands. See, we had the Ace of Wands come out earlier, and then we got that Justice card again. That Ace of Wands came out earlier, a total different deck, and then we got that Justice again. Wow. That's crazy to me. All right. Let's move over to whatchamacface? Winter. It's a monster. Let's see. Is Winter aware of Jungkook's connection to Jimin? Is Winter aware of Jungkook's connection to Winter? Sorry. Is Winter aware of Jungkook's connection to Jimin? These is the what's the news cards. Is Winter aware of Jungkook's connection to Jimin? Is she aware? Interesting. We got um SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance is needed. Hmm. SOS, saving ourselves. SOS means someone save me. Hmm. Let's ask a question. Because with this card coming out, I would say Winter is. I feel Winter is most definitely aware of Jungkook's connection to Jimin. And with SOS being out here, because it seems like at some point in time, she had to assist him some type of way. And that could have a lot to do with what I said earlier. Remember when we talked about that motive? So maybe at the time she didn't know that's what her role was, but with assistance needed, I feel like maybe she's starting to put two and two together. When it comes to is Winter aware of Jungkook's connection to Jimin, why would SOS come out? When it comes to the question at hand, is Winter aware of Jungkook's? Here we go with that shit. Is Jungkook's connection to Jimin? Why would SOS come out? Oh, that's why. Now look at here, y'all. We got the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is always my card of teamwork and working together or doing something together. Okay? So I feel like this is confirmation. Remember I said more than likely, at the time, she did not know what her role was. At the time, she didn't know that she was assistant. She thought she was just working, working together to figure out whatever, you know what I'm saying? And after the fact, okay, with this Three of Pentacles, after the fact, she more than likely figured out, hey, such and such was just using me for his own benefits. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was working together. Thought I was assisting him in his time of need, but come to find out, he were only trying to look out for his own self, something to that extent, okay? So I do feel like absolutely she was aware. We got Three of Pentacles. We talking about her, we talking about Jungkook, and we talking about Jimin. There's three pentacles on here. There's three people, okay? Now this card that tried to slip out, that slipped out. I'm anxious to see what this got to say, because why did you try to come out? Page of Pentacles. Yep. Let's read what that Page of Pentacles got to say. Ain't that about an interesting Page of Pentacles? And the Page of Pentacles, this is what it has to say. It says, starting a new project or a job, a new investment, an opportunity, a beginning to turn your dreams into reality. Yep. She thought she was helping someone out, and she was. But, well, she wasn't aware that she was helping someone out. She was being used to turn somebody else's dreams into reality with the basis of the knowledge that she was aware of. Yep. The knowledge that she was aware of. Damn. Have we asked that question? Let's see. Let's keep it moving, because I don't want to use... And there we go, that World card at the bottom of the deck again. Let's see here. Let me just put you right here in case I need you for later. Hold on, y'all. My bad. All right. Okay. Does Winter feel deceived, or does she knowingly continue? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's use this one. What's at the bottom of the deck? Wow. Bottom of the deck, we actually have no. Oops, I showed y'all the wrong card. Hold on. We need this card. Does Winter feel deceived or knowingly continues? Does Winter feels deceived or knowingly continues? 2 cards, please. What? I don't want, it says, I don't want to be who I used to be. You deserve better, and I can't stop thinking about you. So here's the thing. This is how I'm going to read this. Does Winter feel deceived or knowingly continues? I don't want to be who I used to be. You deserve better, and I can't stop thinking about you. This is the part that I feel right here is the knowing part. Okay? I don't want to be who I used to be. The used to be part is, you know, in a situation where she probably felt like they were a thing or something like that, or could be a thing, and she can't stop thinking about the situation at hand. But with deserve better being here, if I can't make you happy, you know what I'm saying? Remember the card that came out earlier? I can't make you happy. That's what he had said. She feels like he deserves something better. Okay, if I can't please you, okay, go on here about your business. Do whatever it is that you got to do. So I feel like she's no longer being deceived, but she continues whatever it is that they had. Yeah, because truth of the matter is, because I got obsessed. She really do like him. She really do like him. So it's kind of like I'll just get what I can up out of you. You know, whatever time I can get. You know, I'll take it, knowing that it'll never be what it is that I want it to be. But whatever I can get out of you, I'll take it. Okay, that's kind of how I'm feeling with those cards coming out. Let's see. Does Winter have genuine feel? God damn it! Really? Here we go. Now we go to these cards. Does Winter have genuine feelings for Jungkook? With this being at the bottom of the deck, I just said it. I just said it with these cards over here. I can't get what I want, but I'll get what I can get. Okay? See? Wish is coming true. Ace of Cups. This is the wish is coming true. And this is the love card right here. She would love to. She would love to, but it's kind of like, now that I know what I know, you know, I guess it's a no. Does Winter have genuine feelings for Jungkook? The 2 cards, please. Does Winter have genuine feelings for Jungkook? There it go again. Yep. This is so funny. Remember, what card? Damn, what deck did we just have? We just had a deck that had this. Oh yeah, the clarification cards. The clarification cards. How come we got that Page of Pentacles coming out right now? Again. Yes, she would love to be in that position with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? Does Winter have genuine feelings for him? Yes, she do. She would love to have that opportunity. We have, it says yes and a yes. And this is actually Virgo's energy right here. And Jungkook is a Virgo, right? Is he? Yes. Okay. It says ambition, loyal, faithful, okay, trustworthy. And we have the Wheel of Fortune right here. Good luck, destiny, good fortune, okay, a turning point. She would love for things to be, with the Wheel of Fortune, to turn into her favor. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, yeah, I didn't even look at this. With the high priestess being right here, okay, she's keeping all her secrets to herself. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to tell anybody about how she feels. She's just going to keep it to herself with the high priestess being right here, okay? But if she could, she would. But it's like, I know where your heart is. It ain't necessarily with me, so I'll take what I can get. Does Winter think Jungkook is immature or confused? Does Winter think Jungkook is immature or confused? 2 cards. No, hell no. No, she don't. She feels like with this Empress, this is the Empress right here. She puts him on a very, very high pedestal. Okay. She does wish things could change, though. She would be excited if things was to change in her favor with this Eight of Wands being right here. But no, as far as immature or confused, Empress would never show up for someone who was immature or confused. Okay? She just wished, he was, into her a little bit more. That's all. She wished things would change, though. It says excitement right here. That would make her so happy. Nope. So not immature or confused. She doesn't look at him that way. She puts him on a high pedestal. Okay. Oh. Nitty gritty. What does let me get some monster. What does Jimin think of Winter? Wait, wrong cards. Here we go. What's at the bottom of the deck? That's so funny. SOS means someone save me. And how come at the bottom of the deck, we got rescue right here. Okay, this is a fireman. But hold on. Let me adjust in this chair. Whew. All right. Remember, the next reading coming up is Rose and Jae Young. That's the next reading coming up. All right. So, what does Jimin think of Winter? That she's a rescuer. What does Jimin think of Winter? These are the character oracle cards. What does Jimin think of Winter? Oh, that's shady. I ain't never seen Jimin throw no shade. See. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why I keep putting these cards up. Why would he think? What is it, Shay? It says drunker. It says alcoholism, addiction, avoidance, and abuse. How you gonna feel that way, think that way of somebody when somebody was trying to save your ass? What? Well, she was trying to save Jungkook. Okay, so I get it now. Okay. Assist him, not save him, assist him. How you gonna feel like Winter is that, though? See, that's that shady shit. You feel me? That's that shady shit. Okay. And I ain't never known Jimin to be shady. Ever. out of the readings. He's always so sensitive, but emotionally, mentally going through some things at times. But that was some shade right there, and I want to know what the shade is about. What does Jimin think of Winter? Why would the Junker card come out when I asked that question about what does Jimin think of Winter? Why would the Drunker card come out? Because to me, that's shade. That seems like straight shade. Why did that come out? Ooh. Because he said it's the motherfucking truth. Damn. Well, see, I don't know nothing about Winter like that. I mean, I've done like 2, 3 readings on Winter. But, yeah. That's catty right there. Okay. That's like some real shady shit. Like shit talks amongst female friends and shit. So let's see what it says, y'all. This is clarifying. This is the Ace of Swords. Okay, he is a goddamn where is that? Air sign. Goddamn, where is that? Here we go. The Ace of Swords talks about mental strength and clarity. It talks about independent mind, strategic thinking, intellectual, cutting through clouds, doubt, seeing the things clearly, strong, honest, and clear communication. Because this is his truth. This is how he feels about her. I said, why would that come out? Why would the Drunker card come out? Because this is the truth. This is how he feels. This is how he feels about her. With mental strength being right here, what he's telling me is that I ain't a no eight of swords right now. I'm not in no 9 of swords. I'm not going through no anxiety. I'm not feeling trapped. I'm telling you the truth that it is. This is how I feel about her. I feel like she's an alcoholic. She's addictions. She's avoidance, and she's abusive. She abused things. What though? This is his truth. Damn. Wow. Ace of Swords. This is his truth. Whether it's true or not, this is what this is what he think about her. Okay. So 2 can play that game, right? Right? Yes, it's only fair. It's only fair, What does Winter think about Jimin? What does Winter think about Jimin? 1 card, please. There's some real crazy shit going on here. We got Avenger, and it talks about memory, resolve, hatred, and plotting. So, crazy thing about it is, she feel kind of some way about him too. She feels some kind of way about him too. Okay, now this is the triangle of truth now. So what is this card that tried to pop out? Research. Ooh, explorer of the truth. Study, experiment. So the crazy thing about it is, it seems like both Jimin and Winter are doing their research on each other, finding out shit, okay, exploring the truth. And he had already came out with the truth card over here in my clarification deck with the Ace of Swords. So with hatred and plotting here, that's a little hardcore for Winter, because once again, I've done like 3 readings for Winter maybe, with other people, and I never remember her being so shady like this, and never do I remember him being so shady like this. But anytime it's like a friend group or a connection or whatever, the truth will come out how someone truly feels about somebody for one reason or another. Right now, this is what the energy is right now. That's what I be trying to tell people. That's why we be doing update readings, because one minute they might feel this way, then the next minute they might feel that way, which is human. Like one day I might like my sister, one day I might be ready to choke that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Yeah. So this is rather crazy, because I just don't know. Leave that one in the comment. Leave that one in the comment. Like, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about how they feel about each other? Is it some truth to it? Is my cards tripping? Like, what do y'all think? Uh-oh. Is there jealousy? If so, what kind? Damn. Woo! Shout out to the person who wanted this one. Messy Marvin, goddamn it. Here we go. Y'all know I ain't with this messy shit, I'm a good old southern country gal. That shit funny. Like, what the fuck is a gal? It's a girl. Ah, shit. Okay, here we go. Is there jealousy? If so, what kind? Wow. It do seem like it's some jealousy. Wait, them two cards came out. Woo! Woo! Number 41 could be significant. Where's that? This is crazy, y'all. Disruption, lightning. Hey, the question at hand is there jealousy? If so, what kind? Some disruptive kind. Okay? Some disruption. Okay, that's the type of jealousy it is. Any jealousy could be disruptive. You feel me? Jealousy is ugly. It says, like a flash of lightning that illuminates the night skies without warning, this card wants you to not just expect the unspect, but embrace it. The unknown and the unanticipation may cause many people to fear the worst, but it's not always the case. This card of events happening suddenly out of the blue. A single sentence can reveal information that changes everything, or you could turn around and have a life-altering experience right on the sidewalk or your own kitchen. These moments are a shock to the system, whether positive or negative. Since you can't plan for a surprise by definition, this card is a lesson in the unpredictable nature of life. And that shade right there was very unpredictable to me. Woo woo! And then look at that, y'all. How would number 41 came out, and then number 40 come out? So this talks about, is there jealousy and what kind? Some shit that you can't be prepared for, which is why your ass better stay focused on what's important and what matters. With bullseye being right here in focus. Because remember, this talked about being unprepared for certain things to hit your way. We talking about, is there jealousy? One or the other may not even realize the other one feel this way about that one, because it just shocked the hell out of me. But this card is specifically saying, man, is there jealousy? And if so, what kind? That disruptive kind, that kind you can never be prepared for. It could happen on the sidewalk. It could happen on your kitchen. And it done happened today on this motherfucking table on this very day. Okay? On this very day. Shady, 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 shady. Better stay focused. Better stay focused. This is like a cat fight. It's like a cat fight that neither one of them probably even is aware of. That's funny. Okay, Jesus. Okay, let's see. Do they know each other's personality? See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't expect this from neither one of them. But see, I know the people who know them, like the fans, I know y'all would know how they are. Well, I would guess you would know how they can be, rather. Do they know each other's personalities? Okay, so I'm just gonna ask for one card right here. What we have? Ooh. Here's the crazy part about it. Number 25, and we got Uranus. Uranus. So they both could be asses, and they both need to change at the bottom of the day. They both can be asses. So even though I didn't expect them to be shady, they can be shady at times. But Uranus, your assholes, both your assholes needs to change. Okay. Do they know each other's personality? Do they know each other's personality? Ha! This is Taurus energy, I think. Let's read what it said. I be saying, like, motherfuckers, when they call me assholes, so I be like, take one and no one. You know? Yep. I get called assholes, shitty asses. It's this one person who called me a shitty ass all the time. You're a shitty ass. I be like, bro, what the fuck you mean I'm a shitty ass? You're a shitty ass. I am not a shitty ass, though. Like, I don't know why they be saying that. Like, that's literally the only name a motherfucker refer to me as a shitty ass. Be like, we want to say your mama is a shitty ass, nigga. Anyway, here we go. Personalities. Do they know each other's personalities? It says, mother and be mothered. Nurture and cultivate that which is growing. Whether it's the harvest from the earth, the child from the womb, or the art from the artist. Real love mean tough love, doing what's best for the beloved, even if they hate you for it. Wow. Love and nurture your own body with healthy whole foods. Take them as communion with the organic world. Feel the earth beneath you holding your loving you through hard times, letting this abundance flow through you to others. Advocate for those who are weaker, vulnerable, or dependent. If you are progging your project of your harvest is being taken from you before ripening or ready to be ready to be starved the world until they are safe. Witness the strength and the power. When the time is right, be willing to let go for the progeny or creation to flourish. They must embark on their own journey. Once your job as a nurturer is complete, then go and step into the next level of your own mastery. Here's the challenge: don't mistake smothering, enabling, or infertilizing actions as a sign of love. Once you release the objection of your cares, your life is not over. A new one begins. Here's the gift. This is the sacredness in your daily life: loving, feeding, nurturing, gardening, and in the family, whether choosing or biologically, all parts of the powerful spiritual path the mother holds. So here's the thing. Remember, I just said, as far as I've ever known, these two have never been shady, via the readings. But I've always been told we all have can be shitty at times. We all have that good angel on the shoulder and then that devil on the other shoulder. So even though I came off shocked, like, damn, I ain't never known them to act this way, they both can be nurturing at times when it comes to each other personality, which is what I had been harvesting on all this time, coming to find out they can be shitty asses if the shoe fits. Okay, and that's funny because it's 2:09 on the clock and it's number 29 right here in my hand. So I think they both are aware of each other's personality. Okay, but just like anybody else, if you push me there, I can change my personality into a reality that you are unfamiliar with. Okay. And I think that's anybody. You never really truly know a person, is what people always say. Like, they be like, a smoker never really stops smoking. That's what they say. That's what people say. I mean, I don't smoke anymore. I always stop cold turkey, but then sometimes I start up again. So it could be some truth to it. But I haven't smoked, oh my God, I haven't smoked a cigarette now. I don't know how long. I ain't had no weed and God knows how long. I don't know how long it's been since I had a drink. I'm just sober in a motherfucker. I ain't had shit. Shit, man, shit. I have a sip of this though. Okay. We almost done, y'all. Okay. Here we go. What is the true dynamics between the three? And we're going to use the angel answers for that. What? Damn, William Carr just slips. Get your ass over there. You coming in a minute. Damn. Damn, it's almost 2 o'clock. Fuck. I had a late start. I had to shower and do all type of shit, man. All right, here we go. What is the true dynamics between the three? One card, please. When it comes to Jungkook, Winter, and Jimin, what is the true dynamic between the three of them? Uh-oh. No. No. Why did no come out? What you mean no? Listen to your intuition and forgiveness. There we go. There we go. So when it comes to the true dynamics between these three, we got a no here, and we got listen to your intuition and forgiveness. So when it comes to the true dynamics, there's some forgiveness that is needed here. With no being here, maybe out of the three, one of them aren't listening to their intuition. Maybe out of the three, one of them do not want to forgive. When it comes to the true, what the fuck? When it comes to the true dynamics between these three, why Jungkook, Jimin, and Winter, why would 3 come out? I said 3. Hold on, y'all. When it comes to the true dynamics between the three, meaning Jungkook, Jimin, and Winter, what is the true dynamics between the three? Why would no come out? What is the no for? Okay, so I think it's what I had said earlier when I said someone isn't listening to their intuition and someone isn't willing to forgive for whatever occurred. I don't know what the hell could have had happened, but look what we end up getting, you guys. We end up getting the 7 of Wands, and this is what the 7 of Wands, that's the Cups. This is what the 7 of Wands have to say. It says, under attack, being challenged, standing your ground, defending your position, standing up for what you believe in, having clear boundaries, having a superior position, higher power, having the advantage over your competition / your attacker. So when it comes to the true dynamics, we got a lot of different emotions and things going on. Standing your ground, no, I don't need to change. I'm doing what it is that I believe in. I'm not finna forgive my attacker. I'm not finna forgive the person that I'm going through a challenge with. I know I should listen to my intuition, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. So that is the what is the true dynamics between these three. There's a lot going on here. There's a whole lot, and everybody feel like they have a right to, feel how they feel. Bottom of the deck, we got the Queen of Cups right here, and the Queen of Cups has a lot to do with that nurturing aspect that we talked about with those personalities up in here. People know that any person who has a nurturing heart or whatever, they can also have a tough love about them too. Okay, if they don't have a if they have a backbone, they can have a tough love type of emotions. Like, I'm not gonna let you run over me. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, whether you want to deal with it or not. What is the spiritual? What is the spiritual lesson for Jungkook? What is the spiritual lesson for Jimin? And what is the spiritual lesson for Winter? Then we done. So the first card is gonna be for No. The first card is gonna be for Jungkook. The second card is gonna be for Jimin. The third card is gonna be for Winter. And the question at hand is, what is the spiritual lesson for Jungkook? Ooh, hold on, y'all. I ain't used these cards over here in so long. Hold on. I wanna use these. I ain't used these in a long time. These are the Soul Journey Lesson Oracle cards. And for each one, I want to pull... Ooh, my nose is itching. I want to pull one for each one, okay? Ugh. Okay, here we go. So put that to the side. What is the spiritual lesson for Jungkook? Can I get one card? What is the spiritual lesson for Jungkook? Can I get one card for Jungkook, please? Overall, to close out his reading. All right, Jungkook. What is the spiritual lesson for Jimin? What is the spiritual lesson for Jimin, please? What is the closing message for Jimin, please? Almost done, y'all. What is the spiritual lesson for Winter? What is the spiritual lesson for Winter, please? What is the spiritual lesson for Winter? She hard here. What is the spiritual lesson for Winter? One card, please. All right. Closing message for Winter. One card to close out Winter's reading. All right, y'all. Here we go. Let's see what we got. We're going to start with Winter. Okay. Surrender. Surrender. Number 44 could be significant for Winter. That's a spiritual lesson for her. And this is what it says. We got the temple of the high priestess. Remember, we had that high priestess earlier for her? Yep, when I said she's going to keep her secrets to herself or whatever. It says, let it all go. Say aloud now, I surrender these words, okay? Cast a spell and breathe them in. Release control. Stop bonding around a struggle. Stop bonding around a struggle. Hand the keys to the divine. Allow spirit to carry you and fill in the gaps. You don't have to figure it all out. Goddess, God has your back. Have faith in where you are at this moment. Everything I need to find out, everything I need to know finds me in perfect timing. See? Everything, this is what her spiritual lesson is. She needs to let things go and say aloud, I surrender, and breathe in them words. She needs to release control and stop bonding around struggle. Okay, so in other words, stop trying to have a connection where there is no connection. Hand over the keys and allow Spirit to carry you and fill in the gaps for the things it is that you don't understand. Okay, you don't have to figure it all out. Spirit has your back. Have faith where you are in this moment. Everything I need to know finds me at a perfect time. So that's her spiritual lesson. What's her final message? Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Ain't that about a bitch? Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. And what did this just say? Everything I need to find finds me at a perfect time. Ain't that about a bitch? You don't have to figure it all out. Have faith in where you are. Spirit will fill in the gaps. I like that for her. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. That was crazy, wasn't it? Yes, it was. All right. Let's move right along to Jimin now. What's Jimin's spiritual lesson? Naked. Number 30 could be significant to him. Naked. And it says, hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Being emotionally naked means being vulnerable enough for the real you to shine through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Practice being transparent. Start with the people close to you. Say, I haven't been shown the whole me, but I am starting today. Have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. Speak your truth. Share your story. Cultivate an appreciation for vulnerability in others. Become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and making others uncomfortable. I have the courage to be vulnerable. That is Jimin's spiritual lesson. What is his closing card? Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever it is I set my mind to. You sure can. You sure can. Last but not least, what is the closing message for Jungkook? Ooh-wee. Number 19. This is what number 19 has to say, y'all. It says shame. It says, where is the... Wait, is this the right one? No, I'm at the wrong one. Here it go. It says shame. You are beautiful and loved. Every part of you and your journey is beautiful. Even the ugliest moments. You have a heart, a soul, and a breath. Take that makes you beautiful. You are secretly sacred, that you are not enough. Shame is lying to you. You are not broken, unevolved, ugly, or unworthy. Shame keeps you small and hiding. Accept yourself now. You are a bright light. Allow yourself to see who you really are. You are doing the very best you can. You are lovable and you are complete. Declaration, I am protected. So he feels, his spiritual lesson is he feels ashamed, but he doesn't have to feel ashamed. Whatever it is that he may feel ashamed about, he doesn't have to. And that's the spiritual lesson that he needs to learn. What's his closing card? Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Okay. With that being said, this has been the requested reading for Jungkook True feelings toward Jimin and Winter. Remember, anybody can request a reading. You can either email me or you can leave it in the comments. Most people like to leave it in the comments, which is okay as long as I actually get to see the comments. YouTube does not notify me about all the comments, you guys. So if I ever miss your request, I didn't do it on purpose, but that means I will have to look through every single comment to try to find what it is that you guys are requesting. That's why it's easier if you just email me. Okay, so I know exactly where everything is at. But I love you guys and I appreciate you guys so very much. I enjoy the positive comments that I get, and even the trolls. Y'all comments be funny too. So, it is what it is. You guys be safe and enjoy your Friday.